everybody. It's Cindy Matalucci, your host of The Pulse and Live with Cindy. We made it through another Friday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us for this half an hour today. We love to spend this time with you, bringing you inspiring stories, telling you about what's happening in our beautiful city, what events you need to attend, and all of the good stuff. So remember, if you have a story for us or you want to be featured on the show, we would love to have you. So hit us up on social media at The Pulse SD or on the website, thepulsesd.com, and hopefully we can feature you. We would love that. So I have to start out today thanking our sponsors. I want to thank Windus Fernandez Brinkhorn from Trilogy Financial Group. She's my financial advisor. For all your financial needs, Windus and her team have got you covered. We love Windus. And then, of course, Coffee Ambassador, who keeps us all caffeinated. Our staff, our guests, everybody, because we don't do anything without the coffee. They've been in business for 50 years in San Diego, so they do coffee right. So thank you guys so much for everything. Okay, Cindy's hot topic. What are we going to start talking about today? We've got a fabulous show. First, I want to talk about Halloween. Woohoo! Who's excited?
Yeah, me.
Yay!
Yeah.
Are we excited for Halloween?
Absolutely.
So you guys, you know it's one of my favorite times of the year. We always do a huge Halloween show. So on the 28th is our Halloween Spooktacular show. So you'll have to tune in to see what costumes we're wearing, what guests we're having on the show. So have you guys picked your costumes yet?
I have.
Oh.
I'm a werewolf.
I love that. Okay.
Scare some little kids.
I love it. So I think as grown-ups, people think you can't dress up, but you can. You can still dress up. I always pick my costumes like way ahead of time.
Yeah.
Are you going to dress up?
Oh, I'm sure I will. I haven't picked it. I'm sure my girlfriend will pick it, though.
Team, do you guys have your costumes?
He's going to dress up as a Clear Skies Capital employee.
No.
Well, and his girlfriend's on the set too, so we're like, ooh, what are they going to be?
What's it going to be, Cassie?
Oh, I'm not decided yet. I'll let you know. I'll be updated.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Okay, so I wanted to tell you guys about a new trend. I wasn't sure if you guys heard about this, but apparently the big trend this year is the murder mystery dinner parties. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. It's crazy. Apparently the 80s theme is huge as well. So it's an 80s murder mystery dinner party, which sounds fabulous to me. So one of my clients, you guys, I have to shout out to Bridget. She is our real estate expert. You've seen her on the show many times. She invited us tonight to an 80s themed murder mystery dinner event, which I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun. But I just have to tell you about this because this is crazy. So we get invited. We're actually a special character in the show, which I don't know if she's going to like this or not with Izzy and I, but we are special characters. So I am Jessica Bunny. So I guess like Jessica Rabbit, but Jessica Bunny. So this is what I get. This is the invitation. It says, wear a red long evening gown, sequins if possible, red wig and bunny mask, bunny ear headband, optional to wear bunny makeup on the face. Okay, so that was my instructions. I did get a gown, which this is a whole nother story. Izzy might have to paint me into later because it does not fit. So stay tuned for what's going to happen with my gown later.
I decided
It's a little too small. But anyway, so that's that. So now listen to this. So Israel, this is perfect for him. David Bowie, right? So you have to wear a pop idol costume, bright colored spiky wig, and stage makeup.
Right up your alley.
You got that hair, you got that picture from the office you could put on there.
It's going to cost you for that.
Right.
Well, Izzy is David Bowie. I'll just have to put like a lightning bolt down the center of his face, right? It's like perfect.
Yep.
So that's his
You guys
costume.
crack up later.
Make sure we get a picture of that for our office, please.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's the new one.
we'll add it to the yearbook picture.
Oh yeah. So apparently you guys, you get clues and you get a chart. So I don't think they understand who they're dealing with. First of all, I'm a serious detective. I watch a ton of date nights, forensic files. They don't know who they're dealing with. I'm going to figure this whole thing out. So anyway, stay tuned. That's tonight. Watch our social media and we will be reporting back on this. And we're super excited. And then also tune in, you guys, on the 28th for our Halloween Spooktacular. Because I can't tell you what costumes I'm wearing because I can't give it away. But it's going to be fabulous. So that's coming up. Okay, you guys. So I want to start the show today. I'm really excited about this topic. I deal with a lot of small business owners, entrepreneurs, and a lot of things that they're constantly talking about is capital funding and funding for their business and working capital, right? So I have guests today, Jeff Thon, founder and president of Clear Skies Capital, and Josh Feldscher, vice president of operations. How are you?
Good.
Phenomenal,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm so glad to have you guys on the show today. I think this is such a great topic. So, Jeff, you are founder and president, and you oversee all aspects of the company's strategic direction and business goals.
Yes.
And then, Josh, I know that you had before you were managing end-to-end services for a $23 million annual portfolio. That's a lot. And now you're doing, heading everything up. It's VP of Operations.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, before we kind of dive into the company, because I want to get into what you guys do, I want to talk about your stories because I think they're really inspiring. So I know for you, Jeff, you've been in the industry since 2004. How did that get started for you?
By a friend. I graduated college and had no idea what I wanted to do. I was working at Costco. I was a forklift driver. I was making $40,000 a year, and I thought that was pretty cool. Until I saw one of my best friends started with that startup in our industry. And next thing I know, he's driving a Cadillac CTS at the age of 23 and wearing a couple Rolexes and just well off. And I was like, all right, well, I need to grow up and do something with my life. So I was like, you think I can do what you do? He's like, absolutely. You got a good personality and good work ethic and drive. He's all, give it a shot. What do you got to lose? I'm like, okay. So I made the jump in 2004. I started for a startup company. Actually, not at that time. They were maybe 4 or 5 years into it. I was your standard account executive in a cubicle, making 300 to 400 or 500 calls a day, cold calling. We started getting marketing, but I did that for 5 years, 9 months, and then I experienced my first crash in the economy, the mortgage crash in 2008. So I went through that. 2009 came around. September, I was let go, unfortunately, and took some time off and started with another organization here in San Diego, and I ran their sales department, managed roughly around 15 to 20 account executives. I began to learn the back end of the process. So my first 5 years, 9 months was front end, learned the back end with this second organization, the relationships, where the money comes from, kind of how to run a business. I learned that back end part, and then I, about the last year, I started getting the itch, the motivation. I was like, well, I want to do this myself. And as I said, I have grandparents, entrepreneurs, ran businesses. So 2014, I made the jump. I resigned, started this Clear Skies Capital, July of 2014, and here we are 8 years later.
Well, and congratulations on 19 years in the industry. Amazing. I just love that. I love those inspirational stories because people don't know how you get to where you are, and it's not an easy path. So I love seeing this and hearing your story.
Definitely not an easy path. I'm your typical startup too. When I started, I was in an executive suite, 175 square foot, just me and my dog. Still cold calling, being a business owner. Then I grew, worked on my marketing, and I'm on my third location with 7, 8 employees, doubled our space, doubled our personnel, and here I am, yes.
Amazing. And then Josh, I want to talk about your background too, because you were in the corporate world. So you kind of started with Merrill Lynch, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of moved your way into a small business, community style place to work. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started with Merrill Lynch back in 2016. It was actually an internship while I was in college, and they offered me full-time right afterwards. So I was working under a big investment banker. He was managing billions of dollars for huge companies. So I got my feet wet in the finance world. Felt a little bit like a cog in the machine. Didn't like that they didn't even know my name after 6 months, kind of thing. So I knew I wanted to stay in finance. So I started looking for smaller companies, maybe in different areas instead of investing, and I found Clear Skies. Started in sales and kind of worked my way up into operations, and here we are.
I love that. That's so exciting. So, okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Clear Skies. So for the viewers that don't know what you guys do, give us a little synopsis of what you do.
We provide financial services keep it simple, in the secondary market, we provide capital is the main thing, working capital. We can do that in a couple different sources. One being a revolving commercial business line of credit. We can do that in a term loan. We can do that in an SBA format as well, more of a hybrid SBA. And we also specialize in equipment financing. Basically, we are fintech. We can do things much quicker, less paperwork, and a much higher approval percentage.
Okay, great. And so what types of industries or clients would you say are a good fit for you guys? Or have you
Josh,
worked with?
What do you think?
I would say the main maybe 5 that we work with are construction, restaurants, cannabis industry is booming right now. That's a new one we get to work with. Medical is also very big for us. And then I would say manufacturing is our other big one.
Perfect. Well, and I like that you said if you have an EIN number and a business checking account, you can take a look at something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's basically EIN number, business checking account, and then we can start the conversation and we can go from there. If we are unable to help you, we always give guidance on where to start, how to build, and go from there.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then I want to talk about working capital. This is a question that I get asked a lot from people that are on the show, or they're talking about this a lot. You know, they want to get funding for their business. They've got things that they need to do. So can you explain what a working capital loan is?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so a working capital loan is just basically cash for your business. It doesn't really matter how you use it. It doesn't matter what you're necessarily planning for it. Our job is to get you the cash you need to expand or do the plan you had or hire more employees. So that's basically what a working capital loan is, just cash for whatever you need for business.
And then would you explain how this is different than a traditional small business loan?
Yes, so it's a great question. Very different, very similar but different, meaning the process is different. Traditional banking, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, etc., they have a very lower, in our opinion, approval percentage. Roughly, last time I checked, it was like 16%, where we are more of a 70 to 92% approval ratio.
Wow.
We work with all types of credit scores, industries, time in business. A lot of this plays a factor in the approval, but there's many other things too where we don't require collateral. I think that's the biggest part right there.
I saw that. That's crazy. That's amazing. Because that's hard for people to come up with collateral. That's a big thing.
Not everyone has collateral.
Right.
Yeah, especially a younger company. You've been in business for 1, 2, 3 years. You have no commercial credit. Banks are big on history, commercial credit. They want to see home ownership or some sort of collateral. They want something to fall back on. That's the reason why our process is much quicker. We only need a one-page application, typically only 3 months of bank statements. From start to finish, probably 48 hours. We can have a working capital term loan in your bank account or a line of credit open.
Wow. Okay. So I know I was going to ask you about that. So how much can a business borrow, would you say, with this kind of loan?
Josh?
So it all depends on the business. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, whether it's revenue, time in business, what the industry they are in. But we are a more revenue-driven product. So usually the more money your company makes, the more money we can get you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So qualifying then, basically you have to be in business for at least like 6 months, or there's specific qualifications. You have to have a certain amount of money in the bank, and then possibly a certain credit score.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to see proof of concept already operating, right? Everyone has an idea. Entrepreneurs wake up, they have ideas, but like you said, 6 months time in business. We want to see deposits, money going into the business checking account. We obviously take a look at the industry and how long they've been in business, but those are the 3-4 main factors. There are other smaller factors that go into it, but those are the driving factors right there.
Okay, and then you and I were talking about this earlier. So when should a company consider taking out a working capital loan? And you told me there was 2 main reasons, right?
Yes.
So we talked about opportunity and the oops, which I loved.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 main reasons, right? Opportunity. Easy examples are expansion, another location, equipment, right? People have higher demand. They need personnel or equipment to keep up with the demand, inventory. Good opportunity needs right there. Oopsies is like, for example, let's take a restaurant operational, doing great. Next thing you know, the business owner walks in one day on a Monday and their walk-in cooler's not working. And they got $80,000 worth of product in there. Obviously, everyone's going to have insurance. Insurance doesn't happen overnight. They can't just let $80,000 worth of produce, meat, desserts sit there, so they're going to go bad. So they come to us for a bridge loan. That's really kind of our niche, is bridge funding, short-term bridge funding between 6 months to 36 months to help bridge that gap on that oops until the insurance or whatever comes into play down the road.
Wow, so that's bridge funding. I love that. And so you guys kind of specialize in that, so short-term or long-term.
Yeah, we do both, yeah.
Perfect. And then let's give people an example of what they can use this for. I know you kind of just did saying, like, if you have a second location, right, and you're going to open a second location, but like, is it payroll? Are there other things that businesses would be using this for?
Any business-related item or expansion. It could be payroll, for example, right? You just landed a new contract. You need to hire more employees to help fulfill that contract. So employees, equipment, relocation, build-outs. A lot of people been at a restaurant for 20 years and they needed a new reface, right? Build out. The possibilities or the needs for capital that we get from our business owners are endless. Anything business related, to keep it simple.
And then we had a question, I think you kind of answered this, but when it comes to credit score, people think they have to have perfect credit score, but you don't have to.
No.
Absolutely not, Josh.
No. Yeah, so basically anything over 500 we can work with. We have high-risk programs, we have low-risk programs, we have challenged credit programs, we have excellent credit programs. It all kind of, we're trying to fit the product to you. We're not trying to fit you into our product.
I think that's a really good point. And then walk us through kind of what is the application process like? Because I know you guys make it very simple. You said one-page application, so what's the process like?
Well, it's simple, and depending on the request, sometimes it can be more after the original application process. But to start, it's a one-page application. We use DocuSign, pretty easy. Do it anywhere, mobile, and 3 months of business bank statements.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the start. Now, we do ask for things more. Just depends. Someone comes to us, we get 500,000 requests, 250,000 requests all the time, and we do fulfill those all the time, and that's where maybe financials or tax returns will come into play. But to start, one-page application and 3 months of business bank statements.
That's very simple. Well, and I want to know too, and I think I already kind of know the answer, but I want to know, why should people work with you and what sets you apart?
Very easy, Josh.
Yeah. So I would say our biggest draw is the personable side of our business.
Yes.
We grew from a very small company, so we know how big that customer service is. So I would say the biggest thing for us would be our customer service. You're always going to talk to a live person. You're never going to get to a voicemail. We're all a team too, so any person you're talking to there has your best interest in mind and not the money side of it. They care about you. So I would say our customer service would be the biggest difference.
Yeah, if I can chime in on that. So it's mandatory. We answer every call. I'm a big service guy. When I pay for something or go into something, I expect high service. We provide high service. So that part, in my opinion, is kind of a lost niche. I'm experiencing it with other companies, the service, but our Google reviews speak for themselves.
Well, and client retention, right?
Very high.
With you guys.
Very high. We have multiple clients that we're 20, 25. I think we just hit our first client last month that we hit 30 loans with over a course of maybe 6 years. But retention is very high. We have a whole separate retention department that are dedicated to our existing clients, where we get really deep with their understanding of their need and their business. So we're also very educated on different industries: trucking, manufacturing, medical, cannabis. We know the struggles or the pros and cons or the opportunities that they come across, and we understand it.
Well, and I have to give you a testimonial too, because when I posted on Facebook that you guys were coming on the show, a client of mine, a friend of mine, was right away interested in funding, and I gave you the information, and I would say within an hour you are on the phone with her. So, and you're dealing with you directly. It's not, like you said, it's not some kind of sales rep somewhere in India or in a different country. I mean, it's all here. So I want to, say, I can give you a testimonial for that you are really on top of everything that you do.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And your signature says "at your service" on his email too.
Absolutely. It's on our walls in our office. Yeah.
Well, and tell us, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you? Or what's the process if someone's interested in working with you? Do you think that they should go to the website? They should call you? What would you recommend?
That's a good question. Okay, so we recommend that they apply how they want to apply. Some people are busy. They might not have time to talk on the phone, and they can go to our website. They can start an inquiry, put their basic information. Once they hit submit, it auto-populates in our CRM. And they're immediately going to be responded with some automation technology, but right away they're going to have a live person. We're big on live communication with account executive consultants, we call them. A lot of people out there still want to talk to a live person.
Oh my gosh, I just had a situation with a clothing company, and they took away their phone number. You can't call anymore. You can only do a chat with them, and it's impossible. It's really frustrating.
Yes, it's frustrating indeed. So we can do our website. You can call in. What else?
Email, chat on our website is also available.
Live.
Well, and you have that quick video process with questions, which is really nice if people want to do that online.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you enter your information through our website, you're not actually applying. You're entering your contact information, cell number, email, basic information, industry, company name, and then right away we're going to reach out to you and have that detailed conversation to get to know you and your business and your desire, your need.
We love that. And it's clearskiescapital.com. We'll have everything on the website. We have the link up. And then you guys have a great finance resource center on the website too, with great articles, resources and everything. So you guys can go to their website and just check out some of the information that you have.
Yep.
So I love that. And then I want to say congratulations before we go today on your BBB rating and accreditation, A+, and all of your amazing reviews and happy customers.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So 19 years, right?
Well, 19 years of experience, 8 years as a business owner, but we that honestly really separates us from our competition is our we excel in service. The reviews, and they're all real. See for yourself. Give us a call.
We love it.
Yeah.
If you guys have questions for these guys, we can get them answered. We can put you in touch as well. And you guys will be regulars on the show. So this was your first appearance, but he's going to be answering questions. They'll be here talking about different things going on in the market.
Yep.
So we can definitely get you that information. And then before we go, I just want to close with maybe a tip. Is there anything that you could give to our viewers? Maybe something for inspiration as an entrepreneur, or maybe something when it comes to your industry?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say the biggest tip I have is ask questions. You might own a restaurant, you're an expert at running a restaurant and cooking, but when finance might be a foreign language, don't be afraid to reach out and ask. We provide free consultations, like he said, all the time. So if you need more information, don't be scared to call us. I think that would be my biggest tip.
And I would say as a business owner, be willing to be open-minded, be willing to adapt. We all have our wants, but not everyone gets what they want. So like a new startup company might come to me, I might be able to help them get money, but it's not on their terms. Well, this is where the compromise comes into play. And at the end of the day, it's still capital to help you grow your business. So be patient, be open-minded, and be resilient.
Well, we love it. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show. We can't wait to have you on again. And you guys, if you have any questions, let us know. We'll get them answered for you. And then that's going to do it for today's episode, you guys. Tune in. We are off next week, but we're back on for the 20th. The 28th is our Halloween show. And be nice out there, you guys. Be safe, and we'll see you next time when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.